The Random Jottings of Donald J. in Nelson in Pendle, Lancashire. Peggy Nell Clitheroe Waddow Hall. A former servant of the hall, Peggy upset the owner of the property who wished her dead. Unfortunately, this came true, and Peggy's ghost came to extract revenge. To pacify her, it is thought the owner of the building must sacrifice a living creature every 7 years. If this does not happen, then Peggy takes a human life by drowning the first passer-by she sees. Once upon a time, in the quiet town of Clitheroe, there was a grand hall called Waddow Hall. It was a magnificent structure, with sprawling lawns and tall trees surrounding it. However, the hall had a dark secret that many locals whispered about in hushed tones. Legend had it that a former servant of the hall, Peggy Nell, had been wronged by the owner of the property. The owner had wished her dead, and soon after, Peggy had indeed passed away. But her spirit had not left the hall. Instead, she had stayed behind, haunting the hall and seeking revenge on the owner who had wronged her. Over the years, there had been several sightings of Peggy's ghost. Some had seen her in the halls, others had heard her whispering in the dead of night. And then there were the stories of her taking a human life by drowning the first passer-by she saw. Despite the tales, the owner of the hall had refused to acknowledge Peggy's spirit or the rumors surrounding her. He thought them to be nothing more than fanciful tales told by the locals to spook visitors. However, one night, as he walked back to the hall after a long day, he saw Peggy's ghostly figure standing before him. Terrified, he tried to run, but Peggy's spirit was too quick. She drowned him in the nearby river, just as he had wished for her death. The incident shook the town, and people began to fear the hall more than ever before. It was then that they remembered the old legend about Peggy Nell and the sacrifice that was needed to pacify her spirit. The owner's refusal to acknowledge the legend had led to his death. The new owner of the hall decided to heed the warnings and sacrifice a living creature every 7 years to appease Peggy's spirit. Since then, there have been no more sightings of Peggy's ghost, and the hall has remained peaceful. But some say that Peggy's spirit still lingers, waiting for the day when the sacrifice is forgotten, and she can take revenge once again. By Donald J.